And we are live according to my, oh, there you all are. Normally it shows me like the chat going on before, and I had nothing. And I was like, oh, am I going to be talking to myself today? But no, you guys are all here. So welcome, 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 welcome. It was pointed out to me that I just start talking as if, everybody here just knows who I am. And while most of you know who I am, there are some new people. So I just want to say that I am Danny Ackerman, the niche lady. And I have been doing this crazy eBay e-commerce business thing actually, I just celebrated my 22-year anniversary on eBay. But before that, I was buying and selling, and I literally grew up in the back of a thrift store, is what I like to say. I spent the summers with my aunt up in Carpinteria, California, where she volunteered at a store sorting, and she was also an antique collector. So I really got a good education from an early age. And then I've turned all of that experience into helping others be successful in their business, and most important, having fun doing it. I know there's all kinds of ways to sell and make money, and we've got Amazon, and I won't even mention some of the other ones because I don't even know what they are. But that's not my thing. Could I do it? I could do it, but it would be a job, and I don't want a job. I want an adventure. So here we are. And so I love to share that with all of you, so you can be profitable and have fun doing it. So that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. We're doing something a little different today. You see me week after week kind of doing the research on my own items. And I know you like to see what I bought, and we'll still do that today. But I have a volunteer who we had something very exciting happen through the Facebook group, the Niche to Profit Facebook group, where one of my viewers, and I hope she's here. I hope Melissa made it over. Melissa Sugarman. I'll watch for her to say hello over there. She had a painting, and she had listed it at $400, and she got an offer of $100. And now we have this stuff happen all the time, right? And we get a little bit offended. Some of you get a lot offended. And my advice to her, well, there was a few things I had her do once I saw what the item was. Yay, she's here. Oh, I have to remember your YouTube name is different. Okay, so, and this is advice I have given over and over and over again since I have been helping others, is don't be afraid to price your stuff high, high, high. So what I recommended she do was she sent a $250 counter offer. And I advised her, retract the counter offer, go in, make a few tweaks to this listing, and list it for $750. Now, the highest one that I could find a sold on was $600. But it's a rare item. And if you guys have something that you can't find any comps on, and you have this feeling that it is a really good item, I want to encourage you, do not be afraid to bump that price way up and look for best offers, right? So what happened with her listing is she went in, she made the changes, and literally within an hour, the item sold. And I'm going to show you. Now, I wish I'd have taken a screenshot of the original of the listing. So, oh, I guess I have to share my screen, don't I? Whoop. Let's go big. All right, so this is, I just screenshotted this from the post, the original post in the Facebook group. This was what her title looked like previously: vintage painting / still life, comma, pink and yellow roses / signed by, and I think it said artist. So one thing in pulling up the listing and looking at it is she did have great information in the description, but that information was not up in the title to be found. So I'm sure that person who offered $100 really thought that they were going to sneak in and take advantage of a new seller. So I had her change the listing. Okay. And let me, hold on. I'm going to pull it up because this is so exciting. I absolutely love that this happened. Here is the, I keep hitting the wrong button. Here is the listing. She changed it. Now you could see the first thing we did was change the title to have the artist name. And it turns out this is a listed artist. And by listed, what that means is this is an artist who has had their work sell in high-end auction houses and or galleries. Like they are a known artist, okay? That's what listed means. And there is an actual, there's a list kept by a company called Davenport's. And I used to have the books. It used to be, like, I'm still in the encyclopedia days. You used to have to order the books every year, you know, for the updated thing. Now it's all digital and you can still get that. It's what like sites like askart.com pull their data from and such. So we changed it to the artist name and then what it is, original oil painting, roses still life, that's the subject matter, and then put in like the words listed artist vintage, because that's, of all of that information in the title, that's the least important. What you want the search engine to realize is the importance of that name. So I would bet what happened is that as soon as she revised this listing, somebody who had a saved search for Nevada Wilson, boom, this came up and boom, they didn't want to lose it. They grabbed it and it sold for $750. Now, the other cool thing is when you have something, I don't know what the price point is for this, but at a certain price, this happens right here. This $32 for 24 months with PayPal credit. The PayPal credit thing gets added to your listing when the price sells, or when the price goes, when you have it listed for over, I want to say 500. Does anybody know what that dollar amount is? I haven't looked it up for a while to see what it is. But yeah, when you go over, and let's just say it's 500, because I know what happens at 500, they're going to get offered a way to make payments on the item, which can be the difference between somebody saying, yeah, I can afford that, and no, I can't. So I'm guessing since it wasn't on the $400 price point she originally had it at, that this is something that was the $500 and up thing. Yeah, so if you have something that you're teetering between, you know, $300, $400, $500, list it for the $500, because then they'll have the ability to make payments, and sometimes that boom 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 is the gusto. Now the really cool thing about this is probably my favorite thing of all of this, and I'll just come back here for a second. So Melissa was saying that her husband was kind of poo-pooing this whole idea of her being able to make money on this eBay thing. And Melissa, like over in the chat there, tell us what he said after this. Tell us what he said. And you know, this is not an isolated incident. I have been helping people do things like this for over 10 years, and I get excited still every single time. Every single time. Like, I love it when you guys make money. I get comments all the time about how I left something on the shelf. And honestly, I really hope somebody sees my video that lives in that area and goes and grabs it and makes a caboodle of money on it. He said, okay. He said, yeah. He says, okay, babe, maybe you're on to something here. Yes. I love that so much. I love that so much. Let's face it, sometimes you guys, we are skeptical that we can make money at this, right? Sometimes, and I deal with a lot of people just getting started at this. There's a lot of discouragement, disappointment, frustration. And stories like this show you what's possible and that you can do it. You can do it. And my mom, maybe like she has a story too. My mom was one of those people working outside the home as a caretaker for others. And I mean, it was making her sick. Like she's telling me how, she's doing all of this hard labor. And it was just one night it kind of clicked. We were looking for a vintage yarn that she needed to do a baby blanket. It was a baby blanket, right, Mom? And I said, did you check eBay? And she's like, no, I didn't check there. So we checked together. This is back, in the days of Skype, when Skype was a big thing. So we checked together, and this particular yarn was selling for, what was it, Mom? Like $20 or $30 a skein. And I was like, holy moly, you could sell your vintage yarns on eBay, because she had a wall of vintage yarns. And she's over there to verify this. She says, oh, I could never do that. I'm not techie. I can't figure all that stuff out. And we worked together through the power of Skype, and because she was in Tucson, and where was I? I was in Reno, I think, at the time. Yeah, we were like completely apart. And yeah, she started listing her yarn, and took you about 6 months to quit your job, Mom? About 6 months. She got it up to where she could kiss that job goodbye. Yep. Do I think reselling on YouTube is overcrowded? Now, I'm guessing what you mean by that is how many people are sharing, reselling. Clarify for me what you mean by that. If there's too many people promoting it, or there's too many people doing live sales, tell me what you mean by that, and I will address that. You have a wood-turned large bowl with inlaid turquoise that you're having a hard time on price. Are you over in the Niche to Profit Facebook group? Because that's where we helped Melissa with hers, and that's where really, the way that the YouTube comments work under the videos, I can't keep track of ongoing threads. I see the comments, and then they're like lost. I read them all, and I respond to as many as I can, but then we can't engage in an ongoing conversation, and you can't post pictures or anything like that. That's why I have the Niche to Profit Facebook group, because you can post pictures, and now not only do you get my opinion on whatever you have a whole bunch of seasoned sellers over there as well. Some that have been, watching and following me for years and know exactly what I would tell you. So come on over if you're having trouble with an item like that. Yeah, husbands can be skeptics. I had one who told me that I needed to knock off the hobby. Yeah, it's funny. It's funny, it was a hobby while we were married, and then once we went through divorce court, all of a sudden he wanted to bring up, all of my income. Funny how that works, huh? Yeah. Oh, and thank you, Tri-State Picker Mom, for posting the link. Now, please, there are some questions that you need to answer, okay? Just if you could take just a minute when you go over there to go join the group, just answer those questions. You'll be let right in. Awesome. I'm reading comments, and I have to remember I have to keep talking, otherwise there's dead air. I have to tell you, I got into it a little bit. I was actually on that live stream yesterday, Melissa, with another YouTuber, and I don't know why she feels the need to put others down as if she is the only one that can help people. The woman, and I'm not even gonna say the name. She has tremendous knowledge. I listened to her and learned things that I didn't know. She is she is just a wealth of knowledge. I just wish she could be a little nicer and know that there's many people out there that have things to share. I always say the day I stop learning stuff is the day they bury me. I mean, I never want to stop learning. I watch other channels. A Crazy Lamp Lady is the one who inspired me to start doing my thrifting videos, you know, and she is a fantastic person. And what you have to really get out of the different YouTube personalities is that, and I hope this is what you're getting, is like we have a niche. We have certain things that we're attracted to on the shelves. And I want to encourage you to develop whatever that thing is for you. So that's why, and I'll often respond to the comments, you know, why did you pass up such and such? And it's like, it's not my thing. It might be your thing. It's not my thing. And I hope you'll watch the channels and know that you don't have to pick up exactly the same items, but watch what it means to have a niche. And that's why I call myself the niche lady. I teach developing that inner gut instinct that you'll have of knowing which items to grab and which to leave behind. Yeah. Yep. Now I've lost track of your comments over here because I feel rude if I'm not like talking to you and I go over here and I start reading comments. Yeah, husbands can be a pain. I'm sorry. Yeah, husbands can be a pain. Yes. Yeah, so who was it said that they had was it a $3,500 painting that you got help with? Was that you, Melissa? Sorry, I missed that. Because I didn't get an answer to my question of where that item actually got sold, which I mean, there are other places to sell high-end things. You can consign things at auction houses around the country. There's I'm not talking the auctions that we go to source product. I'm talking like Christie's and Sotheby's and, oh my gosh, there's many more that only take high-end things, but they also are going to take a high-end commission, and there's work to do with it. Yeah, so, oh, you haven't sold it yet. Okay. See, because I asked, maybe it wasn't yours that I asked on. It was another one that she said actually sold for some big honking price. And I'm like, not on eBay. Like, you know, that particular one. So, okay, we're going to get you over that being scared thing. We really are. We really are. What's that saying? It took me 3 years to get my husband on board to reselling. Now he's addicted too. Win. There you go. With guys, and I don't know, do I have any guys over in the chat? Let's see. So guys are all about show me the money. Like, you want your husband to stop complaining, show them the money. Like, just start racking in the sales and they will get on board and help you. Yeah. Now I'm trying to go back and find about the question about, oh, what you should consider about yourself. Okay, about starting a YouTube channel. Start a YouTube channel. Like, why not? If it's something you want to do, and this is what, there is no right or wrong answer for anybody else to give you about your dream, your goals, your desires, you know, in this world. It's like, I say, if you want to build a YouTube channel, do it. Just do it. Just like, okay, I mean, let's like compare it to TV. You see, there's people who like one show over another show. So I'm not everybody's cup of tea. Believe me, I hear from the comments, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. But for those who want to learn from me, I'm gonna give you my everything, and I don't worry about those that don't want to watch. So I am constantly trying to better my content, better the delivery of the content. But you know, you put out content and people are going to want to watch it. So yeah, if you want to do it, do it. Just do it. Some of you are scared. Well, let's talk a little bit about that art too. Yeah. Yeah. I will tell you, the YouTube channel thing is, I mean, what's your goal with the YouTube channel thing? I mean, I went into it with the goal of, I did want to monetize YouTube and get an income stream off of YouTube, because I no longer wanted to run like a membership and do all that. That's a lot of infrastructure and you know, managing how just all the website stuff and all of that. So I knew I didn't want to do that, but I still wanted to teach and help people, but I needed, you know, my time to get paid for. So the YouTube thing has been fantastic, because all I have to do is bring you the content for free to you, and YouTube pays me. It's a beautiful thing. I love it. You guys are so sweet. Yeah, the shipping thing too. I really want to I want to start upping my game on that too. And I want to get my setup so I can actually just live stream it. So you can ask me questions while I'm doing it. That's my goal. Honestly, live stream is way easier than editing videos. Editing videos is time consuming. Yeah. Oh, nice. So your friend just rented a booth in an antique shop. She said you can sell some stuff in her booth, pay her a commission. She has to pay the shop 10%. What's it for a percent for me to pay her? Like, wow, you know, you really need to ask her. Like, I mean, if I was going to allow someone to consign something in my space, I would want to split 50-50, but then I'd pay the fee, if that makes sense, because that already comes out of the thing. So basically, it's like they'd be getting like 40%, because you're taking up space that they could be selling an item of their own. So you have to keep that into consideration. Yeah. Okay, so let's jump into, what do you want to do first? Do you want to like, I know Melissa wants me to like jump into her store. You guys want to jump into this store review first and then I'll show you some stuff that I bought? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. Yep. Where did that go? These scroll very fast. Live stream takes more of your internet allotment than regular uploaded video. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, uranium glass is that market is really picked back up. Yeah, I really won't. I have too much of my own stuff to sell other people's stuff. That's just my thing. I don't have the time or the space to take on. And then unless it's something really, really, really good, like I'm going to make $100 even after we split, then I'll consider it. Yep. Okay, there is no embarrassment. No embarrassment. And I'm sure that others in this chat are going to tell you that this is not something that there's, you know, just some way to go over there and know exactly how to do this. So there's no embarrassment. You're willing to learn. I want to commend you. You took my advice and jumped over and immediately changed that listing. And look what happened. You sold it in an hour for $500 more than you were planning to get for it. So no embarrassment. This is how we learn. So let's go ahead and jump over here. And I can actually blow this up to full screen as we need to. So I have gone into Melissa's store, and actually you don't have a store. You just have listings, right? You don't have a store yet. I don't see a little store symbol. Okay. So one of the first things that I would advise you to do is get a store. And I say this for everybody. Reason being is right now, it's $5 a month. $5 a month to start an eBay store. So there's really no reason not to do it. Now, here's the reason I tell you to do it. It has nothing to do with how many listings you're able to list for free and all of that. That's not the big reason for having an eBay store. The eBay store is going to allow you to organize your listings in a way that a customer can come in and click on a category and shop, shop, shop. It's also going to give you a way to easily start reducing prices on items that have been listed a certain amount of time. I have 2 categories in my store. Here, let me go find my store for you, and I will show you what I'm talking about instead of just telling you. Okay. You're going to see branding in my store that is also something you can do, but don't let this, like, oh, I don't have time to do that. Don't worry about it. I did this a long time. In fact, this is outdated and I need to update it. But this is what, you know, a store is going to allow you to do. But look over here at my categories. Do you see I have, and I'm working on these. I actually just deleted a ton of categories. I have to redo them. But the most important ones that I work with are these right here. And I have 2 categories within there. I have 25% off and I have 50% off. Now, if somebody just clicks special values, they're going to see everything that is marked down. If they click on the 50% off, it's going to take them to everything that I have 50% off. And this is how I manage to run my markdown sales. And my criteria is after it's been listed for 3 months, it goes to 25% off. After it's been listed for 6 months, it goes to 50% off. And I start my pricing knowing that at some point I'm going to be 50% off. So keep that in mind too. All right. Yeah, did not know you could do that. Yes, 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 you surely can. Okay, so that's the reason for having a store, in my opinion. Just makes managing things. And if you start at your very beginning, you've only got 56 items listed. If you start now, at the time you have 1,000 listings, everything is going to be nicely organized. And you can call your categories anything you want. You can create personally branded categories that fit what your customer wants to see, how they want to shop. And I'll show you again when I get my categories updated. I had mine to match up with my retail store that I had. And my retail store was called the Time Machine, and literally it was a walk back in time. So the store was laid out, you started out in the 2000s, and then went to 1990s, 80s, 70s, 60s, 50s, 40s, 30s, 20s. You walked back through time. And so my eBay categories matched those because everything in the store was also on eBay. It's like, I love that store. But those categories, once I closed the store for reasons of divorce, otherwise that store would never have been closed, let me just say. Because of that, I mean, I'm no longer laid out that way, and that's not the best way for my customers to shop now. So I'm doing something a little bit different. So let's go look at Melissa's store. So I'm going to get some categories going. So now I want to go to your oldest listings, because I know you've been working on your titles a little bit since then. So from these older listings, I can see from your pictures, you kind of did a switch here to go on the white background. So that's definitely something that I'm very, very big on, is that plain white background. And the reason for this is couplefold. We're in the beginning stages of the technology for image recognition. And A lot of you tell me go do Google image search, do image search. And the reason you don't always get all the results you need are because a lot of pictures were not taken in a way that helped that search algorithm find the item. The plain white background helps the search engine find your item. So I would go back in, like you've only got 3 items here that you need to update. So I would do those. I am tending to put the word vintage at the back end of my titles now, unless you're absolutely sure it's a term that a buyer is going to put into the search engine. So they don't always do that. But I would say like the royal wedding tin, the buyers probably, if they're specifically looking for this piece, they're going to put in royal wedding tin and possibly even Princess Diana tin and such. And so the word vintage may or may not work. And let's go up here and do a search. I'm going to look at royal marriage tin. Let's say, oh, I don't want to look in this store. I want to look everywhere. There we go. Okay, so we have 5 results, and I'm going to sort by highest. So we don't see that exact one. And this, doing a search like this can also help you find other words you may not have thought about, like commemorative marriage. I don't know if that is the go-to way for people to find these type items. So it looks like commemorative is an important term there. So from that, I go back and change this to commemorative. I'd probably say royal, well, it does say royal wedding, so you do want to say that, royal wedding, and put Princess Diana, Prince Charles marriage maybe in there. And then you're good on that one. Tobacco tin, players navy cut. So again, your most important terminology for somebody who wants to, so here I'm just going to say, there are 2 types of shoppers. Where am I? Here I am. There's 2 types of shoppers. There are the browsers, like the window shoppers, we would call them, that are just kind of, yeah, they're not real serious. They're impulse buying kind of thing. They're not going in and saying, I need to go find that tobacco tin, blah, blah, blah. You want to write your titles for the person who is specifically looking for the item that you're selling. So in the case of this tobacco tin, you want the person who is looking for the player's navy cut medium. I'd have to actually pull that up to see what else that says. Okay. Rub ready for smoking. Player's medium navy cut. Stand by. It's a tobacco tin. Yeah, it's a tobacco tin. Okay, just making sure. All right. So it is tobacco tin. So player's navy cut tobacco tin. You'd want to get medium in there somewhere because it is on the box. That's what my brain was trying to figure out. And it is either vintage or antique. So if you are not certain that it is over 100 years old, which means 1920 or earlier, just say vintage. And I wouldn't even say old, like pick one of those terms and just go with it. The 2-ounce box is fine. But you want to move the player's navy cut tobacco tin. That phrase right there is probably what your ideal customer is going to be pulling up. So that's all I would change. And then I would get that on a white background so that the search engine can actually find it. So let me go catch up and make sure I didn't miss any important little questions as we're going here. Sometimes a higher price near value allows confidence of no scam, good quality, fair pricing. Yes, yes, and yes. A higher confident price tells your customer, hey, this item is probably better than the one over there priced cheap. Yep, absolutely, absolutely. Let's see. You guys can always type in all caps if it's a question directly related to something you need me to answer about what we're showing. Like if everybody started writing in caps, that wouldn't work. So be selective. If you guys are just chitter-chatting, keep it regular, but a question specifically you want me to answer, just put that in all caps. Let's see. You were wondering if the vintage should be at the end. Yeah, and it really, you know, that's not a hardcore rule all the time, because if it is something that there is vintage and there is new of something, and you know your customer is typing in vintage, then you want to say vintage first. Yeah, and that's why when I search solds, I always search highest first, because I want to see what the highest priced one, how they worded it, what they called it. That's one of the reasons I do that. Yeah, and you want to repeat whatever you said in your title. Make sure you're repeating that down in your description, which also tells the search algorithm this is valid information. They're kind of looking for those keywords to be said multiple times, and they find them in the item specifics as well. I saw the question about using VTG versus vintage. I am not a fan of using VTG. So eBay search knows that VTG and vintage are the same word. They know that. But they also know if a customer wrote that out and the buyer, I mean the seller wrote that out, that's a better match. Does that make sense? So if it comes down to like one word that gets your item seen over another, I want to spell it out because my customer is probably spelling it out. So, and that is a personal preference. Your mileage may vary. I know lots of people use VTG. I'm just not a fan of using it, and I think a little of that is my OCD as well. I like to see the whole word. When I'm shopping, I look for the whole word. So that's me. Okay, let's go back to this. This is something that I noticed in several of your titles where you put these little slashes. And in this case, especially when it's slash and there's no space between the next word, that gets seen as all one word. So the word that is the search engine seeing there is vintage Chinese and figurine food and antique one. So it's not seeing vintage and Chinese as two separate words. So you don't want to put any extra characters into your title that could possibly foul up the search engine. And that goes also, and we'll talk about the next listing up, for exclamation points and quotation marks and slashes. Now you do want to use apostrophes when they are appropriate, but no commas, nothing dividing words. Your title, remember you're writing your title for the search algorithm more than the customer. You have to keep the customer in mind, and the way you appease both is thinking, how will my customer write this into a search? And then use that phrasing as your first part of the phrasing. So let's look at these vintage sacred stars figurine, Fu Lu Shao antique, one extra free. See, I would not say that. I would either say 4, because you're going to have confusion. So this is going to be truncated in search. And what I mean by that is nobody's going to see this unless they pull up the actual listing. They're only going to see so many characters, probably about here, and then it's going to get cut off. So they're going to see you said 3, but the picture shows 4. So let's go see why you have that as 1 free. Now there's nothing here in the condition that tells me why you have 1 free. So I have to go down here and see. There are 4 of them, but one of them has a chip to the goose. Okay. If you're going to throw it in, then count it as 4 and note the damage right here. And I don't know if eBay changed this. So Melissa, when you created this listing, were you given an option of spelling out the condition of these? Because I know I am on my listings, but I saw someone else not have that option, which I found really puzzling, because eBay tells us that that is the area that if we don't spell it out in there, it doesn't count for an item not as described. So I'm curious to know if you had that option. If you were to revise this listing, if you could go in and put your condition here, because that's super important. And then again, I'd get these guys on a white background and make sure I don't see a picture. Okay, I guess you do show the backs individually. Okay, good. You want all sides. You could not have pointed that out any better, so bravo. You don't want to hide defects for sure. But yeah, I would just get them on a white background. But let's go see on pricing how we are there. Chinese sacred star. Okay, so star, it should have come up still. So we're not getting any results. Are there any listed besides yours? Oh, there are 2. So there's some other term here that we need to come up with. I know I've heard these guys called something else that your buyers may be calling them. Let's see. I'm looking over comments here. It didn't allow me to spell it out, but it may be because I do it from my phone. Oh, that might be. So you should see if you go into your computer, if you can revise from your computer. I'm not a fan of listing from the mobile app, just for reasons like this, where they don't give you, you're not protected under seller protection if you didn't actually spell that out. You know, that could be a problem. The 3 celestials, thank you. Oh, type in Fu Lu Shao. Fu Lu Shao. Okay. Let's try Fu. How do you spell that again? Lu. Oh, look. Fu Lu Shao shows up. 1933. Woo! Let's go back over to solds. Wow. Okay, 76. I can deal with 76 results. So we got the vintage Chinese 3 stars gods. Fu, Lu, and Shao. Okay. Okay. Huh. I bet you know what I'm thinking right now. But you know what I'm thinking right now. These are sold prices, my friend. Look at this shipping on this one. So you see $69.99, but somebody also paid $85.20 of shipping on there. Ooh. Hopefully, I see some comments kind of coming in. I hope my mods are on some of those questionable posts coming in there. Okay, back to it. Yeah. Okay. All right, let's go fix up this listing. Let us fix up this listing. Yes. Let's go back and look at yours now. Now, I didn't see the bottom mark on yours. So yours are unmarked. So those other ones, you probably did a little research. Come on. There we go. Did those other ones have marks? I would say the fact that they don't could actually lend to the fact that they are older. What do you know about these guys? Do you know if they are older or not? You saw yours. What made you think that they were yours, though? Because you saw one. She said she saw one priced like $10. This is why I tell you guys, ignore those low priced items. Focus on the higher priced ones. Yeah, the fourth is the one that has some damage, but I would just list this. I would revise it from your computer. Yeah, you saw there's a lot of cheap. I would say though, with the quality of the items that you have in your collection, and these, I mean, these to me look like they are painted very well. That's one of the differences between the cheap and the good. You know, painting within the lines is kind of a big deal. I'm going to veer on the side of you have some nice items here. So here's what I want you to do on this one. I want you to say for Chinese, let's see, what did we say? Fulu Shao is the important word here. So we're going to go for Fu Lu Shao figurines, sacred stars. And I would just put vintage and take out all the rest of that. Okay. Hopefully you're making notes. Yes. I'm agreeing with a lot of the comments all at once over there. Okay. And I'm also hoping if my mods over there, my hammers or my wrenches over there could just let me know you're on some of the stuff I'm seeing. I would appreciate it. She's trying to find a pen. You know what the cool thing is? It's all recorded. All right. So change that title. And then you are going to change this price to, at the very minimum, $149.99. Minimum. I think you could go even a little higher than that, but I'm going to say that's your minimum of raising this up to. All right. $149.99. And then in your item specifics is where I got to figure out again. I got to go see if there's a way to get rid of all this. I'm hoping there's a way still to get rid of all. I did a video on it a long time ago, but I don't know if the process is the same because this just all needs to go away. All right. Hate that. I don't see a lot in your item specific. So this is to everybody. Item specifics are the big criteria that eBay uses in whether to show an item or not. Yeah, hopefully you're seeing and taking care of what I like. And go ahead and don't just delete the comments. You can just remove them from the channel. Boom, gone. Poof. You have the power. Okay. Thank you, guys. I don't know if I can't see when you remove comments. I don't think I can see it. All right. All right, cool. All right. Yes, so you have great information down in your description. Just make sure you have that in your title and in your item specifics. So item specifics, they're adding a whole bunch of required item specifics even because, and I'll just come back for emphasis, come back on here and say, this is one of the absolute key elements of your listings now is those, and it has been for a while. I don't know if you guys know, a lot of you who are new don't know this history. Several years ago, eBay decided to completely change the search algorithm to something called Cassini, is the little name they gave it. There was a lead guy in charge of this whole project. It was supposed to make the search intuitive, like it would know how the actual person who was doing the searching would be going and looking for things, okay? Well, about halfway through this project, everything kind of fell apart and the lead guy left. He was the architect. He was the guy who knew what was going on, and he left eBay. That caused many issues that were really kept on the down low. Like longtime sellers, like we saw it happening. We knew what was happening. We were trying to figure this whole thing out. And it was bad. It was really bad. Really bad. Some of you who were around then can probably attest to how bad the search was. I mean, it was monstrous. So one of the things that I had the opportunity to do several years ago was the store I was talking about was actually a concept for a software that we were developing that would integrate a retail store's price tags with eBay. And so we worked directly with the tech side of eBay, got to sit down with the, what do you call it, the CTO, Chief Technical Officer guy. So when we talked about like these item specifics, because I'm like, well, what are you going to do with all like the antiques and collectibles categories? Like there is no UPC code. There is no standard for this stuff. And so, yeah, got to learn a little more than the average bear about, you know, why those item specifics were so important and what they were doing. And it was basically their way of trying to figure out like items, because we don't call the things all the same thing. Like Amazon has like one page and all the sellers sell from that one page. eBay doesn't do that, but eBay's trying to, and they're continuing to try to do this, is to, when someone searches for something, they want the item specifics to be uniform so that they can pull all of those, what they think are the same item, together for that search result. Does that make sense? That's why the item specifics are so important, because eBay puts such a heavy weight on them. So that's why. Item specifics, fill out every one that you can and try to use one of the terms that eBay gives you, unless it just absolutely doesn't fit, then add your own. But don't try to like just make different things in there just to make it. These are also how buyers can filter down, and you've seen me do it too, is filter down results based on those item specifics. So they're super duper important. Yes. All right. So that's how you're going to fix that listing. And then I'm going to work on seeing if we can get rid of this stuff. I really hate this stuff. Oh, and by the way, I have, you know, almost 14,000 subscribers. How about we all go in and give feedback on their suggestions and say, stop showing them to me. Let's do that. Just kidding. They probably won't listen. All right. I don't think that's the kind of feedback they want, but I'm just saying, really wish they wouldn't like try to send us off to somebody else's listing. Yes, that's why use wording and terms used in those solds. Solds are invaluables. Yeah, especially the high price solds. Don't copy the low price solds, the high price solds. As in the case, remember, the original thing we started with is the painting. There was no comps at $750. Remember that. The highest comp was $600. So she listed it at $750 and sold it within an hour. So don't put total confidence in those numbers that you see. Go with your gut too. You can always lower the price later. You can't raise it. Now, if you are selling something like A can of ginger ale, and I'm just going to use this as a stupid example. This can of ginger ale really has a very set market value. You have to go by, you know, the standard that's out there because there's so many of them, right? It is, everybody has the same one. But something like, I don't know, this groovy pottery bowl with the daisies, you can change the way it comes up. You can describe it differently than somebody else. It doesn't have a UPC code, and therefore you can add value based on the quality of your listing. And your customer will be fine with that because it isn't something that they can just go to Walmart and go, hey, you charged me $20 for something I could have gone to Walmart and gotten for 10. That's why I don't sell that stuff. Because that drives me crazy. Okay? All right. So, vintage Hobie costume jewelry with box. Let me show you my screen. Oh, I almost did it. I almost did it to you. Caught myself. But not drank by the niche lady. There we go. Sell the empty can. Endorsement. Okay, ginger ale, you can advertise on my channel now. No, I'll probably get, you know, like Coke or Pepsi. I don't know who even bottles. Who bottles this? I don't even know. Who bottles ginger ale? Who bottles Canada Dry? Are they their own entity? Oh, they must be. Since 1904. There you go. Okay, the Hobie costume jewelry with box. All right. So see, hopefully you see what I'm seeing. This picture isn't popping for as spectacular as this item is. So you want to make sure that your gallery picture is like, pop at me off the page. Like, I want to see that $180 item, which I'm going to wager to guess might be priced too low, but we're going to find that out. So let's start with the title. I'm going to go in and click over to your listing. Let's start with the title. Vintage Hobie costume jewelry with box. Now, you say costume jewelry, and I think that cheapens it. Let's take a look. What we have in here is Hobie mesh and rhinestone necklace and bracelet. Family has been making jewelry since late, whatever that says. Let me see what else I see. Okay. Is it signed? Yes, it is signed. All right, I'd take out costume jewelry. You don't need to say costume jewelry on this piece. Your selling point is that this is a Hobie mesh and rhinestone necklace and bracelet, which let's go see. Hobie. I'm just going to say Hobie necklace. Let's start with just, oh, really? This could be a fun one too. Oh, would you look at that? Ah, all right, my dear. It is time to raise some prices. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. What does yours look like? You've got this gorgeous, gorgeous necklace and bracelet. All right, let's look. Oh, yes, ma'am. We're raising price. And this is what I said. I'm sparked by the higher priced sellers. Okay, then we get down here and I'm like, yeah, okay, yeah. You can always go down to these prices in a heartbeat. Let's see what the competition is here. I think the Frederick Neiman's is probably the department store that sold it originally. So yeah, so search wise, you've got a lot of wiggle room for pricing this. A lot of wiggle room. This is what I'm talking about right here. I love this. I love this. Okay, so let's go back to your listing. So what I want you to do, I want I want your picture to pop. If you have, do you have a, well, let's go back over here to the solds. This is all, and this is the other reason for looking at the high price solds. Look at the pictures. What did they do to make this pop? Look at these pictures, like this popped off the page. So if you can get a jewelry, like one of those little jewelry display pieces, okay, but even here, this is basically what you have without the earrings. So they got this on the white background. Looks like a lot of them are using the black background. Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. Like if you had one of these little jewelry display guys here, I would use a white background around it and then put them, lay them, so it laid like it's going to lay on the person like this, But you can do what they did here with the bracelet. But that's just a pop-in quality picture. Okay, so that would be what I want you to do. Now, you guys know you can, I don't want it to zoom right now. You guys can edit your photos right in the listing flow. Literally, a couple little tweaks of the contrast and brightness can make this almost a pure white background. I do that on every single one of my listings. If you don't want to do it on all your pictures, just do it on the gallery picture. Just brighten up that gallery picture. Yeah, you don't want to use the boxed first. The box is not the selling point. The box is a bonus, right? So here's what I do. We're going to change that title to, just based on what I'm seeing. So this is one where people are starting with vintage. They did start with vintage on these high price listings. They said amazing here. I would never use amazing as a first search term. Okay. I would never use rare either. It's not what people, the person who's going to pay $375 already knew it was rare. Just keep that in mind. You don't need to tell them. The person paying the high price for something already knows the rarity and the quality. So they're looking for the pictures and the description and information to back up your pricing. So you don't need to tell them it's rare. You don't need to tell them it's beautiful. You can do that down in the description. It's kind of like the selling the sizzle kind of thing, but not in your title. All right. So that's what you're going to do. And you're going to call this vintage, what did I say? Hobie mesh and rhinestone necklace and bracelet set. And then take out this with box. Beautiful. Take that out. And take out the costume jewelry. Okay. And then you're going to bump up that price at least $100. At least I'd price this probably, I would just put $295 or $298 on it with your best offer. That's what I'd do on that one. Okay. Again, just on these titles, take out your slashes. Take out your slashes. Royal Dalton, you've got plate in here twice. So just say Royal Dalton collector plate, Angelica, vintage 1982. Let's fix that up. Mark Antony, let's pretend, take the quotations off of that. Picard China plate. If you want to put the size in the title, don't put diameter. Okay, just say you can put the size at the very end. Don't put it at the beginning, because some people will look at that size in determining if they want to see that item. Okay, same thing with these. So those pretty much. We're going to focus on your big prices here. Again, so I would take rare out of this, and let's go see how rare this little girl is. So this is the Disney Sleeping Beauty Gorham Porcelain Music Doll, Vintage Fondest Memories. Okay, we're going to figure out what's the important words there. So Gorham is the maker, Sleeping Beauty Gorham. So let's go up here and see Sleeping Beauty Gorham doll. Enter. I thought I hit enter. So that's not coming up, which could just mean she really is rare. So there are two. So this person has this at $7.99. So this adds a real problem for the potential buyer. Like, we have to figure out what's going on here. So let's go. As I said, I never Google with a live screen because I have run into trouble with that before. Gorham Sleeping Beauty doll. Let's do a googly search. And I go to images. So let me just go full screen here. So I go to images. I'm going to come down here. So we do have it on WorthPoint. So I'm going to click over to WorthPoint. Now, I actually happen to have a subscription. So let me get logged in. Okay, back to our program. So you can see, now this was 2017. It sold for $25. I'm going to put the search back in here. Gorham Sleeping Beauty doll. And we're going to search by sale date. So you can see here, they are probably not at the price point that you're trying to get, just based on those. Now, what I didn't check to see is if there are any Gorham dolls. Was that the fondest memories? I'll put that in if I need to. Fondest memories. Okay, so yours is the highest here. Then we've got Juliet, we've got Alice, and then they go down from there. So in this case, I'm going to say your price is probably a little high on this girl. So I would call her, trying to decide if I'd start with Gorham or Disney Sleeping Beauty. Yeah, that's true. New in the box does sell for higher than not in the box. Yep. Yeah. It's okay. It's okay. You know what? It's okay because you have other stuff that's worth way more that you thought was only worth like $37. So it's all a switch out, change out. So just change up these titles to, I think the Disney and then the character is probably more of a selling point. So I would call it Disney Sleeping Beauty Gorham Fondest Memories doll, musical doll. You can even say musical doll. Same with Juliet. Take out the punctuation and call it Gorham Musical Doll Fondest Memories Romeo Juliet. And you got Juliet in there twice. So you don't need to copy words in your title. So then let's look. We got vintage Italian glass pair of green swans trinket tray. So there's lots of words just kind of mishmashed together, and titles are now about phrasing. So let's look. Again, if you can get this picture to pop, I'm seeing a shadow. So this is like a lighting issue. If you can get a light on both sides as you're taking the picture, and then maybe I have three. I have one in front too. And if I had my druthers, I'd have one overhead too, but I don't have room to do that. So you want to get these guys just really popping in this picture. And I think that's just a matter of your lighting. All right, so let's go see our, so let's just say we didn't know they were Italian, because your customer may not know they're Italian. Let's call them green glass swans. Green, whoops, glass, can't type, swans. So WorthPoint gets its data from Terapeak. Terapeak is the main place for data collected. And Terapeak was recently purchased by eBay. So eBay now owns all that data, and they resell the data to other softwares like WorthPoint. And I think there's a couple other out there. So worth point is dependent on whatever Terapeak sends them. And yeah, we are seeing some not so great results, but it's not worth point's fault. And worth point goes back years and years and years. And I find it has a lot more pictures to go by and all of that. So that's more what I use it for. What is the app I use to Photoshop my pics? I only use eBay. I use the software that eBay provides right in the listing flow. I don't do anything separate. Time is money. Time is money. Okay, so we're looking for these green glass swans that have sold. Let's go here. Ooh. You sure they're Italian, or could they be Chalet? No, that's different. Let's try to find the right one. Okay, so here's something else you can do. Now, we know they're not the traditional Murano, so I'm just going to take that out. You can put a minus and take out a word, so you can kind of get your results down. So these are very similar. Indiana glass. So tell me why you're calling them Italian. What is it that makes you lean toward them being Italian? I'm not saying they're not. I just want to know if you know something that I don't know on these. Crystal versus glass, color, oops. Crystal versus glass, color, many say verde instead of green, etc., European or Italy. Yeah, but you don't want to get that specific unless you know for sure you have the customer base that knows that and is searching specifically that way. Oh, you're using a camping ladder. Okay. Okay. Well, let's fix that. Lighting, really, let's take some of the profits you just got off of that painting and up your lighting game. There you go. It's okay. Y'all got to start somewhere. All right. I'm kind of hoping you give me some background on these as to why we're calling them Italian. Is that like filigree in the head, or am I seeing things? Is that, what am I seeing there? What am I seeing there? Explain, Lucy. A glass group told you they were Italian. Okay, but does your customer who's looking for green glass swan candy dishes know that? Ah, I'm going to take out the green glass swan candy dish. Let's go there. Did you see how that popped up, that eBay predicted what I was going to type in there? Because other people have typed that very same thing. So let's take a look. And I know some of the collector groups really, really want to like be very specific on things, but you have to remember, if somebody's just looking for a green glass swan and you put in some fancy term, they may not find your listing. It's a Duncan Miller. There's a, okay. Oh, it's okay. You're not too late. We're still going. I hate those technical deals. Hey, nothing like the technical difficulties that eBay had on Friday for those that tried to attend the 25th celebration. Yeah. Was anybody here actually able to get into that? Because that was bad. It was very bad. Very bad. And the reason I'm not just looking at green is I want to see, I'm looking for the style. I'm looking for kind of that specific, ooh, there we go. So there's a set of 3. Oh, nesting candy dishes. Nesting. I'm going to take out candy and add nesting. Now it's going to see, it's going to show me nests. I don't want nests, I want nesting. And they do call them Italy. Oh my goodness, eBay, come on. Can you guys hear my birds in the background? They are just going nuts because they can hear my voice. Probably can. I don't think this microphone picks them up that well, but they crack me up. They think I'm talking to them. Nope. Okay. All right. I would, if I were you, and that's it. Notice, like, I'm not getting to where I have to go find the exact one. I think your price is good. I would get the picture to pop. Like I said, you want your gallery picture to be like, oh, I have to have that. You're looking for impulse buyers. You're looking for impulse shoppers. So you want that gallery pic to make them click over and see more. You want them to feel something when they see that picture and like, oh, I have to have that. And then it's just a matter of like, you know, can they afford it? So I would change your title to, if they are mid-century, mid-century is a value phrase. Mid-century glass is a value phrase. Mid-century glass nesting swan candy dishes. I'd take out ashtray. Ashtray devalues. Candy dish is okay. I'd take out, see, you're stuffing, you're trying to stuff everything you can think that somebody would call this, and that's what you don't want to do, because the search now says she doesn't really know what she has. She's trying to trick us. So you want to be very specific, because then when your customer types in something very specific, your result is going to be the one that eBay shows them. Yeah, especially if you're asking a higher price, then you want a confident title. So a confident title is going to be, switch back over, vintage. Now I wouldn't even put vintage. I put mid-century Italian glass swan candy dishes, nesting candy dishes. Yes, that's how I would make that title. Take out all the rest of that and all of that. Your price is good, and just get those pictures cleaned up a little bit. Yeah. And you can see, I think you're seeing now like the picture issue, right? That you're going to have to, if you're going to ask $150, $160 for this, this really needs to look like a $160 picture. So you're going to need to work on those pictures. Get some lighting. I will post a link over in the Facebook group to the lighting kit that I used. It was like $120. I mean, and I know that sounds like a lot of money when you're getting going, but it pays for itself within a few sales. I promise you. If you can't afford a lighting kit, those of you who can't afford that yet, like I just saw it go through there somewhere. Find a spot outside in daylight, not direct sunlight, a shaded natural light with your white background, and take your pictures there, because that'll be good too. Yep. Anytime you have a bulb situation, you're going to have like a point of intensity of lighting, and that's going to be harder to edit and get things smoothed out. So if you can't do multiple lights so that the balance is there, then try to get outside in a not a direct sun, shaded sun, and get your pictures that way, and then start budgeting for your lighting kit. Your pictures make all the difference in the world. All the difference in the world. Like a cup or cone, white background board, a direct light, directly positioning a camera, no shadows. Yeah, the shadows will hurt you. Like, I know that this is a gorgeous piece of Fenton Lily of the Valley. Okay, I can't see it in this picture. And let's check that price too. So you can see what you need to do in this title. I would take vintage out of your first word and put it at the end. Fenton, you need to find whatever the color was that Fenton used. So let's look. Fenton has very specific color terms, and the Fenton collectors know those terms. So Fenton, Lily of the, see, and look, I'm pointing over here like you guys can see me. So See all these suggestions already? It's trying to pre-fill. These are things that people put in to search. Fenton glass, lily of the valley. Fenton, lily of the valley. These are all good terms to use, good phrases to use. Lily of the valley vase. And I'm still by highest, so let's go. So it looks like amber opalescent. Da, 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 da. See if there's another one. And see, here's the same. So they're calling this cameo opalescent. So that might be, you want to look and see, is cameo like the term? Cameo. There's another one kind of telling you this is cameo opalescent. So let's go up and see. Let's go see Fenton cameo opalescent. Verify it. There you go. It's a Fenton term. Look at the price points. I know this isn't the same as you have, but it looks like prices kind of went a little higher for that term. All right, back over to yours. Fenton, cameo, opalescent, lily of the valley, vase. You could say bud vase. The ruffle edge is a term that I would put in your item specifics. I would put, I wouldn't call it pink. It does not look pink to me at all. You could put amber down in your item specifics. You can add things into your item specifics, and the search algorithm will actually search in there as well. And I think, okay, at $42, here's what I do. I would either go up to $49.99 or I would lower it to $39.99. 42 is kind of that psychological middle of the road. Like for $2 cheaper, you can psychologically encourage somebody to buy this quicker, or raise it up to $49.99, which is going to basically be the same psychologically as 42, but gives you a little bit more play with the best offer. See what I'm saying there? And then you've got this, again, find out which one of these colors is what people are using. It is a coin dot. It is opalescent. This one is opalescent as well. So you want to figure out what that Fenton color is on this. And then just double check your price on that one. I mean, I do like that you've upgraded to the white background on this. That is the first big step. And I like that it's a seamless white background. That's going to help a lot too. We just got to get these pictures to pop. Again, on this, you know what you need to do here with kind of taking out some of those slashes and things now. You've got the little set of figurines. Sadly, Hummels have just lost their market. Okay, you got your homework now on your titles. I think we got that there. Bavaria dish with, so let's pull this one up. Let me look what we got here. Ooh. There we go. Bavaria, Germany. So that crown mark could be very specific to a company. And I don't want to take time to go into it here, but that, if you want to go post that over in the Niche to Profit group with that picture, and the fact that this does look like it is a casserole or a vegetable serving dish. So we want to figure out exactly what kind of dish that is. Basket design is probably not a term that I would use in your title. And I'm not sure what that means, basket design, because I don't see anything that says basket here. So large Bavaria, and if it's possible too, this one is antique. So again, that's one to go put over in the Niche to Profit group. These guys are adorable. Kappa, ceramic frog, 1960s, old porcelain folklore. Again, kind of try to figure out what is my customer going to say, like mid-century, or even adding MCM in there could be really important. I think this is the set you were asking about adding insurance. So I wanted to talk a minute about the shipping issue and adding insurance. Where do you add that? Because you can't charge the insurance until after the sale. eBay doesn't give a place to like say, yes, tell them that, it's going to have this much more for insurance. They don't do that. What they do is give you a place to put in a handling fee. So this is where a handling fee is appropriate. So you can know ahead of time. If you're going to sell something for $500 or $600, you can figure out what the insurance is going to be ahead of time. Add that into your handling fee. What you cannot do is after the fact tack on a fee to your customer. You can't ask them to pay for insurance afterwards. Insurance is for the seller, not the buyer. Just remember that. Insurance is for you, because no matter what happens, if it arrives broken, you're the one who's got to pay for that, not your customer, not your customer. Yeah. All right. Did that answer your question about like the insurance? Because you asked that over in the group and I said I would answer that live today. Yeah, it did look like a magnolia, didn't it? Yep. All right. And we have another Christmas doll. Again, I'm going to guess that this may be a little high. Dolls just don't have the, oh, I guess you want to see what I'm looking at. Dolls don't have the market that they used to. Yep, sorry, I caught it. I caught it. You've got comic books. See, I don't even get into comic books because comic books rely on so many things. Let me just pull that up and see what you got. So you have a $6. I would take it out of that sleeve and not show that $6 because it could be worth more than that now. But comics are really based on the grading. That's the word I was using for the whole grading thing. How good are they? All right. Okay, again, we have some pictures. Looks like they can use a little freshening up. Another doll. So maybe some of you tell me how you would change this title right here. Tell me over in the chat how you would change the title on this plate right here. What are the most important words to get this item sold? And I have to wait. I have to wait for the, where am I? I lost myself. There I am. Bradford Exchange, maybe. I see a word. I see a word in here that's all the way at the end that might be super important. Oh, I remember you saying that you were going to list some things for your uncle. Yep. Disney. Disney's a big word. Even with collector's plates, you can still sell. Now, it's not a normal Disney character. Does it say Disney on it? Okay. I don't think this is a Disney. This is a Rumpelstiltskin was what do you call that? What do you call Rumpelstiltskin and Hansel and Gretel and what do you call those kind of stories? They're I can't even think now. Yeah, so this is not Disney. I'd take out old vintage plate. If it's Charles Gem, so this is said in German. So you also want to say Rumpelstiltskin, however you spell that in Fable. That's it. Fable is what I was trying to come up with. Thank you. Yes. My brain. So yeah, so fix up those titles. And so you got the dolls that you're listing. Yeah, unfortunately, sadly, you might try the dolls on Marketplace and sell them locally. There are people who do still like dolls and would go for those. And just remember, if you are listing something for somebody else, make sure you're not taking away from listing your own items as well. Yeah, collector plates and dolls are, sadly, the market is way down. So here you have a fabulous Murano glass mid-century multicolored vase rainbow. Okay, so let's talk about this. First, I think you know by now, we got to get rid of the word fabulous. So I would put, I don't say modern when I'm saying mid-century. I take off the modern because there's mid-century and there's mid-century modern. And mid-century modern, and somebody correct me if I'm wrong, I think leads more to a furniture style. It's more of that, you know, that Danish modern that people think of when they hear the mid-century modern, whereas you can just say mid-century. So I would say mid-century Murano glass vase. And then if you're going to say Murano, you need to know what the technique is. So in this case, and actually I don't believe this is true Murano, and this is good that we brought this up. So this is one of the companies that is in the style of Murano. And these are made in China. Even though it says made in Italy, they're fibbing. There's like sites that will tell you which labels to watch out for. Now, it doesn't mean that it has no value. And you can say Murano because there it is on the sticker, okay? But I also don't believe this is mid-century. All right, this is not a mid-century piece. So Vetro Eseguito. Let's go over here. See if I can remember what I just said there. Vetro, and somebody was asking how I get to the solds. And I will show you. There we go. So if I'm in the actives, so I have to get to active to show you how to get to solds, don't I? So we are in actives right now. Let's just say I just did an active search. And I'm coming up with, you know, my results for this Vetro Esquito. And you can see there's some pretty high results here. But what we really want to see is scroll down over on the column down here. See where it says solds? Boom. You want to hit that. Now, as I said, this stuff will still sell. Just keep in mind that you may get a little flack on calling it actual Murano. But there are no Murano police, so you're safe. And we can see here that it does sell. So you want to use, I would take out, in this case, because of what we found out, I would not call it mid-century, okay? I would go ahead and use that term. Vetro Eseguito. You don't have to put all that second part. Murano art glass vase. Boom. So take out this, take out this, and I would take out this, okay? And then zero in on what it is. Now, when you're doing an auction, again, this is my preference. This is what I recommend. Your mileage may vary, and others will tell you differently. I do not add a buy it now price. If I'm going to list it at auction, I don't want us to set any kind of expectation on the value. I just want to list it at a price I would be happy with and let it fly. Just let it fly, see where it'll go. Now, if you're going to be happy taking $6.60 for this after those search results I just showed you, think about that. Personally, I would end this. I would sell it as a fixed price listing, and I'd probably list it for either $49.99 or $39.99. Get out of that middle 40s thing there, and then just let it fly with a best offer. Yeah. Ah, okay. Nope. You don't want to say type or reproduction because now you're cheapening it. It is what it is, and it is up to the buyer to know what it is they're buying. So a true Murano collector is not going to buy it because they're going to know. The person who looks at it and loves it is probably not buying it because it says Murano. They're buying it because they love it and they will be perfectly happy. So just keep that in mind. Yeah, I don't, and saying like, type, style, or look in your title could get the item removed, because then they consider that you are keyword spamming. Ask me how I know. You can get away with it until somebody calls you out on it, and then you get in trouble. These are known as dragon wear. So you want to call this, you could say vintage Japanese. I take out the hand painted, vintage Japanese dragon wear, and take out old antique. Because again, it's either old, antique, or vintage. Pick a word and run with it. Okay. J&M, vintage wood shoe stretchers. That's a good phrase. I take the parentheses out from around the set of two. Antique, old decor, MCM retro. Again, pick a word and go with it. So you know they're J&M. If you can determine the era that they're from, that's going to help you more than stuffing all those words. So I would just say, probably just say, leave the vintage in there and take out all those other words. Okay, we got to get you on a computer. It's all recorded. So if your phone dies, you can come back and watch the end of this. Vintage wood carved duck decoy. There we go. I like that. Now you've got carved twice, so just watch that in your title. And signed. Oh, vintage wood. Vintage wood carved signed duck decoy. The signed part is very important. And let's see who it's signed by, if we can figure that out. We can't figure that out, can we? Yeah, let's just go with signed. Limoges, cobalt blue. Again, I would call this a Limoges, France, cobalt blue vase, Victorian courting couple. Take out all that extra stuff. I would not put made in Taiwan ever in your title. You're looking for words of value. You're looking for words that somebody would type into the search, and it's okay to say in the item specifics that it's made in Taiwan, but it's not something that you want to put at the forefront. That's not going to cause somebody to want to click over and look closer and buy it. Okay. All right. We got 1970 Music Box, Chadwick Miller, Sankyo. That's pretty good. I would take out the Hummel like. It's either Hummel or it isn't. And we know it's Chadwick Miller. So you got to be careful there, because they could ding you on that. I mean, you're running it at auction, so let your auction run and see what happens. Probably not going to get that taken down. Yeah, and I remember you saying you bought all of these figurines and you were excited that you got them all for one price, but I want you, and this goes to, when I'm talking to Melissa, I'm talking to all of you. Time is money. The time it takes you to create that $5 or $7 listing, you could have created a $500 or a $700 listing, or even a $30 or $40 listing. So there's only so many hours in the day. So if you don't have anything else to list and you have these lower priced items and you just, want to try your hand at them, go for it. But just keep that in mind, that your time is worth something. So be careful about listing those low priced items. Vintage Western Germany tin. Could probably add a little more into that. Let's look at it. Like there's coins. I would say something about there being coins. What's the bottom look like? Is that the bottom? No, it's the top. There we go. What does that say? That says container, made in Western Germany container. So tin container. I'd add container because it's actually written on the item. And you'll probably end up listing a lot of this at fixed price if the auctions don't sell. So let's just scroll up because I'm watching the time. I'm concerned about this item being on auction. I think I would remove this from auction format. You've got an artist signature on this, yes. Do we have a close-up? Don't see a close-up of the signature. Let's see. There it is. Okay, so sometimes you're just not going to be able to make out that signature. But you know you have a nice piece of art. And so somebody else probably knows who that artist is. And they're looking and they're waiting for somebody to list one that's, you know, under market. The frame on this is gorgeous. The art here is gorgeous. You're saying it is mid-century. If it is mid-century, I would spell out. And I'm not so sure that the frame is mid-century. I think that the frame was added more like 70s. So if you're not for sure this is mid-century, I might not say that because the frame doesn't match that being 70s. What does the little doohickey say here? Country house as is. Okay. And sometimes as is on a painting is okay. And I see your as is that the little specks right there. That's not so bad. That could actually be restored really easy by somebody who knows what they're doing. I would take this off of auction. I would list it as, I'm trying to think what the best terms here are. Vintage, original, oil on canvas, because it does look like an oil to me. You can usually tell that by the texture. Oils have a lot more texture. Artist signed, and then just put whatever that thing said there. Country house. Say country house landscape. Leave out the trees, leave out the green, all that, and then put yourself a hefty price on it. I mean, put $250 on this one with best offer. Let the artist, let the art connoisseur come check it out and hopefully tell you what you have too. I always love when they do that. You got Disney collection. Again, take out all that little extra characters in your title. And see, I would say, you know, the figurines that you've listed individually for like $5 and $6, these actually would sell individually. All the little Disney, because you could like fine tune which was which, and they're probably at least $10 each. So keep that in mind. And last but not least, this is your newest listing. I love the picture. See how that picture pops? Like, even though you didn't have like all the color and stuff, it's just, that one worked out really good for you. Vintage 1950s, My Little Red, Green, Blue storybook. 3 children's classic old books. Nothing wrong with that title. I'd go with it. And yeah, you're on track there. So see, already getting better by just a little bit of advice. And that's it. You guys are so hard on yourselves. You know what? I've been doing this for 20 years. Of course, I make it look easy because for me, it is. It's just a natural thing now. And you'll get there. It's just doing it. It's just doing it. You know, everybody wants to learn things instantly now. We want just like to insert a chip and go, okay, I got all the data in my brain. And you got to cut yourself some slack. It doesn't work that way. That's why I say, you know, if your thing is glass, go out there and touch some glass. Go out there and go to where the fancy schmancy glass is that is identified and pick it up. Look at how it's constructed. And that's how you're going, and how it feels. I mean, that's the one thing I can't get through the computer screen or the camera screen is that when I pick something up, I'm like, I'm feeling it. And I can go, oh, no, that's not what I thought it was. I try to verbalize it to give you a little sense of that. But really, it's, you're going to know. Let me just say, you're going to know. The day you come across the authentic American brilliant cut glass and you hold that piece in your hand and your hands feel like they're going to start bleeding because it's so sharp, and then you go and you pick up the piece of pressed glass, you're going to know. When you pick up the authentic piece of Murano glass, that thick, waxy, scrumptious Murano glass, and then you pick up the cheap Chinese copy, you're going to know. You're going to know. But you've got to go get your hands on it. You got to go pick it up and same with the porcelains. You'll learn to tell the dollar store porcelain from the Bavarian and the Limoges and the antique and the quality porcelain. And it's just whatever niche you're in, you've got to go get your hands on it. Get your hands on it. Yep. Question time. I can really pay attention to the chat now and answer any questions that I didn't cover. Oh, you missed the lottery numbers. I just gave out the winning lottery numbers, Mima. I'm sorry. Yeah. No. Yeah. Just explaining, you got to go get your hands on the stuff that you desire to learn about. That's where antique malls are great. Places where the dealers really know. Dealers love to talk too. If you go someplace where the dealer is actually there, they will tell you stories. They will share their knowledge. That's another great way to get information into your brain. Yeah. All right. What questions do you have for me? Oh, you are so welcome. I love, and please share your stories of success with me. I love them. I love them. I love to see other people succeed. How can you sign up for a store with already having items posted? Easy peasy. There's a place to go in to subscriptions. It's in through your account. Let me see if I can pull it up for you without sharing all the inside info on my account. Yes, I can show you what that looks like. Okay, share my screen. Let me remove that. So if you go up here where your name is, there's a little drop down. You go to account settings. That brings you to this page right here. Right down here is your subscriptions. And that's what you would click to go sign up for your store. Let me just make sure there's nothing private information there that it's going to show you. Okay, no. Just making sure. This is what it looks like. It'll show you. You can change your subscription or add a subscription if you don't have one, like right here. Okay, so that's how you do it. Easy peasy. And you don't lose, like it just converts your listings over. It'll put them in a category called other. Hold on, let me go back. I can get to my account. Let me go back and show you my store. Right. So when you first sign up for your store and you don't have categories created, everything's going to go into other. And you can see I have a lot of stuff in other right now, a lot that I need to go get sorted. So don't worry, they do all the moving over of the stuff for you. Easy peasy. Easy peasy. Oh, only the super lotto. Come on, like isn't there like a nationwide one? I don't know. I don't play the lotto. We don't have lotto here in Nevada. We're not allowed to play the lottery in Nevada. We have to go out of state. We have to go over to Arizona or California or Utah, I think, to go get lottery tickets. Yeah. We can't even play it here. Is it pretty easy to set your store? Whoops. Is it pretty easy to set your store to categories? Yep. Very easy. There's a place you go into manage my store, categories, add category. and you can add subcategories to categories. Yeah, it's pretty user friendly. What is the lowest subscription per month? $5. $5 a month. Definitely worth it. I mean, if you're going to do this as a business to make money, go get at least the $5 store. And then you might find even bumping up to the next one is better because you're going to get free insertion fees. Let's see. Yes. I think we have a file like that over in Niche to Profit. We have a file that has a bunch of resources. So yeah, there's great sites out there that can tell you which labels to be on the lookout that have been copied. But it's one of those things you really, like, if you really want to get good at the Murano glass, you've got to go start delving into it. I did, if you go back into my playlist of the untapped treasures, I mean, I did it, what, 4 or 5 years ago I made those, but the information is still completely relevant because I'm talking about stuff that hasn't changed. You know, I go through all the different Murano techniques and the labels and the what to look for and how to find it. And I've done different ones for different types of glass. So I think there's like 6 or 7 of those videos for deep dives. Yeah. eBay automatically changed your classification to a store. That's interesting. Is there a way to find out the names of stores already taken? When you apply for your store name, you'll find out. They'll tell you. They won't let you take one that's already taken. Powerball is nationwide. That's what I thought. Yeah, I thought that there was like, should I sell leather bags? I don't know. I can't answer that question for you. So ask yourself this. Do you have a good resource for leather bags? Is it something that you think you can find a good customer base for? And you do that by just searching solds and seeing, you know, is there a demand for those leather bags? Can you make enough profit niching on leather bags? Like, that is a question you have to kind of figure out if that, and test it, see how you do with them. Yes, absolutely. I think it is better to have a store than just listing items, mainly because you can put them in categories and you can do some branding. And then you can send people to your store. Is there any way to undo a negative feedback? I had a customer give me negative feedback because I had to cancel their order because it sold on another platform right before they bought it. Ooh, ouch. No, you're probably stuck with that one. That is one of the things that eBay super duper frowns on. If you are listing your things on multiple sites, it is better to cancel the order from the other site. I hate to say it. Sorry, Etsy. Sorry, Mercari. Sorry, Poshmark. I would rather take the hit over there than on eBay, because on eBay, that'll get you. That'll get you. They don't want that to happen. So you are probably stuck. You're stuck with that one. What did I miss here? Okay. Yeah, go search like the store levels, and they'll give you a chart of the benefits and what you get for each level of store. I don't have that URL right this second, but yeah, it's to just do a Google search for that, and it'll come up and show you like a comparison chart. Is the listings I have now is not called store. I mean, what is, so a store is a subscription that eBay has, and there are 4 levels of stores. And I mean, one of the perks as you start listing a lot of things is it gets cheaper per item for the listing fees, because many are included in the different levels depending what level you're at. And when you do have to pay for the insertion fee, it's cheaper than the, what, like 30, 25, 30 cents. I think it can go down to like 10 cents if you go over that allotment. So it's really just, you know, what makes sense for your business and your branding and all of that. I know they're going to make some changes to stores too, so. Okay. And Tri-State Picker Mom has listed the URL to go over to the Facebook group. Just answer those little questions and we'll let you in. So I don't own a store, but I get 200 free listings monthly, but that is about how many I list. Would I lose those? Nope, you don't lose those. You only gain. You only gain. And I would say, you know, even the $5 one, gaining the ability to create your categories and start using some of the markdown promotions and running sales and all of that is definitely worth $5 a month. It's $7 if you do it on a month to month. If you commit to a year, then you get it for the $5. So yeah, so they have that with every level. Like you can just do like a month to month subscription. It's going to be a higher cost unless you say, and if you say I'm going to do it for a year, it doesn't mean they charge you all up front. You still pay monthly. It's just that if you cancel your store or downgrade your store, if you're at a higher level and go down, anytime before that 12 months, they prorate an amount and assess a fee to you. So, and I don't want to say that that works, but sometimes that works. We'd rather everybody answer the questions, but we're not that hardcore. Milk glass is same as Murano glass. Nope, milk glass is a totally different animal. Usually made by American glass makers. Westmoreland, Fenton, Imperial are some of the biggies that did the milk glass. Yep. All right. Do you have to be incorporated to have a store? Absolutely not. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Incorporating, all of that stuff, that is a kind of an IRS kind of tax legality thing. You don't have to have that to be in business for yourself. You can file your taxes as just a sole proprietor. And what you may need is a business license to even operate out of your house, but don't let that stop you from getting started in this business. Okay? Don't let the legalities stop you because they're just a little speed bump you got to get over. Once you're over them, it's like it's a piece of cake. At what level do you get the coupon for the eBay branded supplies? Oh, I totally forgot about that perk. It's not the basic, it's the starter store. Starter store is, I want to say $25 a month, something like that. And yeah, so you'll get a quarterly coupon for eBay shipping supplies starting there. And the amount you get goes up with the store level. Okay, I think I'm caught up on questions. What is the signature on the item? Is it the label? It depends on the item. Some actually have signatures, and I know we didn't get to. I'm going to make a haul video. That's what I'm going to do with all the stuff that I have laying around me. I'm going to make a haul video because we can't go for another hour. So some things have actual etched signatures, or you know, in ink or whatever the material is that they're on, and some things just have a label or a maker's mark, as we call it. So it's just going to depend on the genre of item. Yes, and I am still working on him. He's not real tech savvy is the problem, and I'm still working on it. But I can tell you this. If you call Miller Supply in Las Vegas, tell them you heard about them from Danny Ackerman. He doesn't know the niche lady. He just knows Danny Ackerman. And tell him that I sent you and that I said that he would give you special rates. He will give you special rates. Yeah, his name is Ray. I'm going to talk to Ray. Other than that, there is Bubble Fast. They are located in the Midwest, so that might be a good option for you. And there is a code you can use with Bubble Fast that will get you 10% off. And that is, oh, let me remember. I think it's either the Danny app or just Danny app without the. I can't remember which it is. It might just be Danny app, DANNIAPP. If that doesn't work, put the ahead of it. Super good people. I love Bubble Fast. Oh, no, that's a good thing. Your eBay monthly selling limit is showing as 100,000. Is that a glitch? No, that's a good thing. Good for you. When you switch over to a store, can you change your username? Nope. Nope. You keep your feedback, you keep your listings. You cannot change your username, but you can create a store name. Okay. You can change your username, but I don't know in what circumstance I'd even recommend that. But you can change your username. You upgraded to the basic store and now they are charging you when you schedule a time for your listing to post. It used to be free under the starter store. I don't think it used to be free to schedule. It's unless that's some sort of a glitch. The schedule has always been 10 cents. So, but here's the thing. You only get charged that when it goes live. So if you can get in there and actually go make those drafts live on your own, you won't be charged. But I don't recall. Okay, Mom, what were you trying to say there besides my name? Or are you just yelling at me? You know what? If you're going to make this a business, why not just go for it? Here's what I think. It's motivating, knowing that you're paying a certain amount per month. So you want to make that make sense for you, right? You want to make that profitable. So it could be motivation just to jump to that basic store and go for it. Your mileage may vary though. It's just Danny? Really? No, I thought it was. That's weird. All right. My mom says the code is just Danny. Well, that would be peachy keen and easy for me to say then if it is. Yeah. Thank you for the thumbs up, guys. Thank you, thank you. Thank you for playing along. Gosh, there's a lot of you here still. 321. Wow. Yes, Mom was telling me the code. You know, when your mom says your name in all capitals, you kind of go, huh, what did I do? No, my mom is awesome. My mom is such a help. Okay, well, you know what? If just Danny doesn't work, then it's Danny app. There you go. Right. Thank you to my wrenches over there for keeping everything in line. As always, we will be doing a live sale on this Friday, 1 p.m. And I'm starting to throw in more non-jewelry stuff because I'm starting to really have fun with this. So there will be the normal jewelry. We do silver, we do gold, we do costume. And then I'm going to throw in like some fun things like, you know, maybe a Laurel Birch kitty cat plate. Who knows? I don't know. Maybe. So we'll see you all there. And until then, go be profitable and make it fun. Thanks, everyone. Bye.